Good morning, everybody. I'm Pat Knauer. I'm the CEO of Corner Office Enterprises, and I'm here with my co-host. I'm laughing this morning.
This is going to be a great show. Okay, so I'm Barbara Loonan Ellison, and I am your personality pro because personality drives reality. Oh, yike. Welcome to the show.
So we are having a morning here this morning. Our guest Bill was not able to make it. There's a snafu in his calendar, and anyway, we're going to get him on in February or so. But yeah, we're sitting here this morning. Barbara and I are on, and she's trying to get her lighting right. So we decided to go early because live early because life is all about pivoting. It's all about making twists and turns, and especially if you're in business for yourself, you know that, right? Because nothing ever goes as planned. And so this morning we're looking at Barbara, and we're trying to figure out her lighting.
Okay, so now let's start at the beginning. Okay, this is how I looked when I first came on. Who is this ghost? So I have all sorts of lights around me. So then we went here and we went, oh yeah, that's even worse. So we're turning that, and I've got a pink light behind, like kind of off to my left, that normally is, you know what? Let me do it because it's normally pointed more towards me.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
and also put on your overhead light, because let's not forget about the overhead light.
Oh yeah, we forgot the overhead light.
Right. So, you think that they're getting on and doing a Facebook Live and look at how white she looks.
So this is it.
Right. You think that coming on and, doing something, either a Facebook Live or doing a radio show or doing a podcast is going to be, you just get out there and you just do it. From the beginning, we'd make the decision that we were going to be very transparent in everything that we do. No matter what's working and not working, you're going to know about it because it's important that you know about it, right? Because life is not perfect. And I don't know about you, Barb, but when I see the gurus get on and everything looks absolutely perfect and, they do video after video after video after video that are so edited so they look perfect,
right,
when it's not real life.
Thank you. You know what, Pat? That is absolutely so true because life happens. Yesterday, I went to a virtual funeral. Very different, very different. But it was like a learning experience. And you know what? Even at such a hard time, for part of it, the girl that was doing it, she had not unmuted herself. So those of us, we didn't get to see the color guard. We didn't get to hear the color guard. She had not panned to the color guard. So we didn't see any of the honors that my friend had because he was a career Navy guy. He served on submarines. You have to be a special personality to handle being close quarters, sharing a bed because your shift, you had that long to be in that bed, and then the next shift went to that bed,
right?
And he would tell us stories. And my dad was a Navy guy, but he wasn't in submarines, but still, to be a service. And so thank you everyone right now who is serving our country. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, people don't really understand, a lot of people, unless they've been involved with the military or they've had some, family members who actually told them stories about the hardships that really go on. It's not, you go to basic training and it's hard for 6 weeks and then you go and you do your service or whatever. But I mean, there are some jobs where it's sort of cushy, where you sleep in your own bed every night, but there are some jobs where you don't sleep in your own bed every night.
Exactly.
And it's just part of the job.
Right. And that's why I was so enthralled with going to be able to watch the color guard in honor of Bill and the whole 9 yards. And the funeral home did not turn on. So there was no sound and it was off in the distance. So we couldn't hear. So there's me. I'm like, okay, there's something wrong. She's not unmuting. I phoned the home, the funeral home, and said, look, I'm at this virtual funeral. She has not unmuted. They said, oh, we'll let her know right away. And so of course a minute later or so, luckily, I guess she had somebody else was there with a phone. But that happens. So this morning when when Pat and I got together, and Bill snafu, and my lighting, it was like, well, let's just go live anyways, because life does happen.
It does. It
It
does.
happens. And so we just said, oh, so we'll just talk about fun stuff, and just some of the things that are happening for us, and some of the fun things that are happening, some of the not so fun things that are happening, because you know what? Life happens in your business too.
It does.
Life
It does.
happens in your business.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so that's my little thing today. But I have to tell you, I love my foot warmer. I am going to just give up kudos that I bought myself a foot
If you've been
warmer for Christmas.
following this for the past week or two, you'll see that Barb has been talking about her foot warmer. Barb got a foot warmer for herself. It's a Christmas present for yourself this year, right?
It was a Christmas present to myself, and it just made all the difference. So, ladies and gentlemen, if your wife has cold feet, note to self: buy her a foot warmer, one that she can slip her feet into. That's nice and fleecy and warm. Oh, so nice. And ladies, if you don't have a man to buy you one, you deserve it. Buy it for yourself.
Because you said that you actually sleep better now because of it.
I am sleeping better because my feet aren't cold. It did because all right, I'm going to talk about being authentic here. When David was still alive, I mean, I would get into bed and he would complain bitterly about my cold feet. And until my feet get warm, I can't fall asleep. No matter what I do, I'll do like relaxation exercises and the whole 9 yards. And partway through, but my feet are still cold. And I'll be 3/4 of the way through, but my feet are still cold. So I can't relax. Because my feet are cold. Last night, I put my little relaxation thing on, and I swear I woke up at 10 to 5 this morning.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
It was just, my feet were warm. I fell right asleep. So, yeah, I'm a firm believer I'll never, ever, ever be without a foot warmer. So, yeah. So, just saying, ladies, foot warmer.
So with that, hold on a second. Hold on. See if we can get it to go. Remember this? Listen.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
Oh, it was from last week?
You sure was good to you. You could add, subtract, multiply, and divide. I too. know today's your birthday. I did not buy no rose, but I wrote this song instead. I call it Popsicle Toes. Popsicle Toes.
Popsicle Toes. That was absolutely me. Absolutely Popsicle Toes. And David would just...
I think that goes back to what, like 1960 something. I don't even know what year it was done, but yeah, it was done by Michael Franks, and it's called Popsicle Toes.
Oh, I'll have to download it. That'll become my theme song for my advertisement for my foot warmer. Oh, I can't get over what a difference it has made. Yeah, you know what? And okay, so back to it. I had just posted before I came on that we were going to be talking to Bill, and I've made my my intention for 2021 is to start dating again. You know, David's been gone 9 years, and so now it's time to step into my power as a woman, and to just to start dating, not necessarily find my forever relationship. Don't know that, but to at least put myself out there. Well, so now it's like, okay, so whoever my new relationship becomes is not going to have to put up with my cold feet.
There you go. There you go.
So anyways, enough all.
And if you're looking for a really wonderful woman, Barbara's looking for you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I swear, I remember one time a friend of mine, we were talking about, because, talking about relationships. And I
Yeah.
said, oh, I'm just absolutely not looking. I said, God is just going to have to drop the perfect man in my lap. And she turned around and looked at me and said, Barbara, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And, my man, they're out there. And it's just, and, I think I'm finally open to it.
And that's
And
what's
that's right. And that's what I was just listening to the Women's Prosperity Network. And that's one of the things that they were talking about, is being open to the changes, because so often we get caught as women that we're the nurturers, that we have to take care of everybody else, and we put ourselves last.
does happen. Does happen. Yes.
Yeah. Sounds
And
familiar,
hello,
Pat?
watching
Yeah.
live. Hello. Go ahead and say hello and put something in the chat box. I'd love to say hello to you.
Yeah. Oh, if you're listening to the replay, hey, drop us a note. Tell us you were here.
Yes. Hashtag replay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, making changes in your life can, they can be kind of daunting sometimes, especially when you're not prepared for it. We're talking about we just talking about relationships. We'll get on to business in a minute, but we're talking about relationships. I made the decision earlier this year that I was going to start dating again. My husband passed away 8 years ago, and I made the decision that I was going to start dating this year. And I decided to get a matchmaker. And a friend of mine talked me out of it, sort of. I got a matchmaker, and I was also using, online dating. And I ended up going out with a total of 3 people, and I was not ready. I thought I was ready, but I was not ready. And I made some really crappy decisions. Oh, hi, Gloria. The amazing Gloria Danvers is watching. Oh, we love you.
Gloria, I'm so excited for when you're going to come on our show. You are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Gloria's coming on at the end of January. We cannot wait. She's an amazing hypnotherapist. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, she is a hypnotherapist. She is intuitive, and she's totally brilliant. Yeah, I mean, totally rocked my world. How about you, Barb?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Made really, and okay, I'm gonna tell on myself. When Pat first told me about Gloria, I'm like, a hypnotherapist? Why would you do that? Type of thing. And because I didn't know. And I see, and that's the biggest thing, is just being aware of your options. I had not thought of it. So constantly, because you can't, a brain moment here. Your brain cannot think about something it has not thought about, because your brain only knows what it's already thought about. And until you have somebody else that introduces you to something, you're not going to think about it.
That's very true.
So Pat had introduced me to, the concept. Well, then I happened to go and visit down to Florida and got introduced to Gloria. Oh, I think I made an appointment for like the next week. And it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Cleared out some junk that I didn't even know was in there. And that don't you think that's absolutely the truth?
Yeah.
We don't know what's in there. It's a big, dark cavern underneath our conscious mind. And yet our subconscious mind controls everything in our conscious mind. Oh, yeah. And the illustration that I always use with my clients is that, that picture of the iceberg where the tip is above the water. Right. That's your conscious mind.
Right.
That big mass under the water, that's your subconscious mind. And my question to my clients is, which do you think is more powerful?
And the thing about the subconscious mind is that it isn't a thinking mind. It's just a doing mind.
It's right.
So all old programming. It's like an old computer hard drive that's sitting in there that's got all sorts of old bad programs sitting in there, but you don't even know the programs are there because they're just old and they're there.
But they're still running.
Exactly. That started running before you were even born. So yeah, you got to clean out some of the old stuff so you have room to put in the new stuff, and that's how you evolve, number one. And number two, if you've got old crappy stuff running in the background and you are not able to get to that stuff and clean it out, oh my goodness. In fact, Gloria, would you like to get on live with us? We'd love to have you on live. If you want, I'll shoot you the link and you can get on.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Because that's absolutely the truth. And we can't access, like I always think of it as going into a black room with absolutely no light on and trying to find your way to the other side of the room. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to run into every obstacle. You're going to trip. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble. You're going to hurt yourself. You might possibly kill yourself.
Yes.
Isn't that the truth? You might possibly kill yourself because you can't navigate this dark room. All what we do, and this is one of the things that Gloria is absolutely amazing at, is pinpointing, even starting one little pinpoint of light. Because as soon as you put one little pinpoint of light into that room, you can start to see.
Exactly. I know. And that's why we love Gloria so much.
That's why we love Gloria.
For many different reasons anyway. It has now become the Gloria show, which is not a bad thing.
Yes. This will be a little teaser for what's going to come.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's freaking amazing.
But you know, I have to admit, Gloria was absolutely amazing too. She start shining the light into what was going on in my subconscious, and the biggest thing was I just felt lighter. It wasn't anything that I could put my finger on. I just felt lighter.
Yeah.
That something had lifted and the sad part was I didn't know that I had that little slight dark cloud under me, because everybody has always said to me, "Oh, Barb, you're always so upbeat. You're always in such a good mood. You're always so happy."
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not always.
No. Well, Gloria, if you're on and you'd like to get on, I just sent you the link through Facebook Messenger. So, she's in a nightgown. Okay, talk about real life, right? We talk about real life. Yeah.
But Gloria, this could be a come as you are party.
It could be, as a matter of fact.
This is kind of where we're at this morning. This is kind of a come as you are party. But but isn't it true? So let's get down to how this relates to our businesses.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm going to give you an actual real example. So one of the things that Gloria did with me was that we did a past life regression. Oh. And I'd never had a past life regression. And Gloria, had me, she started in her Gloria voice. And I immediately went, sunk down into wherever I needed to go. And she started the past life regression, and it was like instant. I was in the middle of a war. I had been, it was a war going on right outside. And I was in a room with a man and two small children. One was a little girl about 3 to 4 years old. The other one was a little boy, a little baby. And I ended up leaving the house and going by, where I going through this war zone. I was over near a cemetery, and I was caught. And the children were apparently returned back to the man whose children they were. I was working as a nanny, but everything was so real around me. And I was taken to a dungeon and went through the whole process of what happened while I was in the dungeon, and torture and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It turns out when I go back and I actually did the research about who I was Anne Boleyn. And and her neck was cut off, right? I mean, her head was
beheaded. Yeah, Henry VIII.
Right after that, I now have a line here. I didn't have that line before. After that, I got that line. It was like, what the heck, right? Kind of freaked me out actually for a while. Sorry, Gloria, I never told you that part of it. But I did the research, and I found out that that's who I was, and the things that she had gone through that I remembered were. I was actually her, which was really kind of freaky. But
I'll have to do that.
Because of that, I kind of lost my voice. I wasn't able to, for all these years of my life, I've not been able to speak out when something was really bothering me. I wasn't able to speak out about my business and about what I wanted and how I was existing in the world. I would every year I would physically lose my voice.
Mm-hmm. And many times.
Yes. And last year I went through 2 really, really bad times where I had no voice for several weeks. I mean, like no voice, like a whisper. Like I couldn't even get out. It was
Mhm.
bad. And it was going on for weeks at a time. And it was like, what the heck, right? Well, it all goes back. And sometimes you have past life stuff that goes on, not just what's gone on in your lifetime. And I know this may sound kind of woo that, you've got past life stuff going on, but this stuff, it happens. So understanding and getting help when things aren't working is really important. And that brings us to business because none of us can do it alone. Sometimes
Exactly.
Sometimes you need the help of a business coach. Sometimes you need the help of a mentor. Sometimes you need the help of a psychotherapist or a hypnotherapist. Or sometimes you need the help of a personality trainer. None of us know everything, and
Right.
none of us are able to do everything all on our own. And sometimes there are things stuck in your head or in your background that you don't even know about that are predicting and controlling the things you're doing today.
Right.
So
And it's so funny that you're mentioning past life. I can always remember as like a teenager and thinking to myself, I am such an old soul. I mean,
mm,
and I can remember thinking, gee, there's only so many souls. I wonder if you come back as other souls. And here you are talking about it because it's so funny because the other day something else came up about past lives. And it was like, gee, I remember doing that, saying to myself, gee, I have an old soul. And because part of it was because I was so different from my family. I was the total opposite. I now know the total opposite personality code than what the whole rest of my family. I always felt different. I
right,
always felt, so overlooked because I was different. And I did my darndest to always try to fit into the mold. And for
yeah.
so long I did, but that's all I did was I fit in because I was still fundamentally different. I was fundamentally different than the rest of my family. Now that I know it, it's like I can look back and go, oh, yeah, right. But you know what? For all of these years, I always felt that I wasn't part of the family. I was always slightly different. How often have we heard that from people that they didn't fit in with their family? Or they're in the family business because it was a family business and yet they hate it.
And that happens to pretty much every entrepreneur. They get into doing their own businesses because they don't fit in.
Right.
Let's face it, we as entrepreneurs are oddities.
Yeah.
We're not part of the 97% that are happy being out there doing the same thing as everybody else, being part
Yeah.
of the party, being part of an industry where labor is bought and sold.
Right.
And that's how I describe, being an employee. And there's nothing wrong with being an employee. If you're an
Nope.
employee, congrats, and you're happy doing
Right.
it.
We need employees.
Yeah, it's so much
They're the
easier
ones that
than
make the
fun.
world they make the world go around.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But just think about it. I mean, if you feel like you don't fit in and you're part of the land of misfit toys, right? How does that affect the way that you deal with your customers and your clients
Right.
and your patrons? How does that, because if you don't feel comfortable in your own family and in your own world, how does that affect the way that you deal with people?
Right.
So a lot of times, again, unearthing that stuff that's going on in the background is really important so that you're able to go out there and function more fully as not only in business, but also in a dating relationship or in a marriage relationship or in a parental relationship. If
Right.
you're a parent and you felt like you didn't fit into your family or you're not fitting in your business, you're not fitting in with your clients, patients, or customers, then how in heaven's name are you going to parent effectively?
Right.
You're always going to
Right.
feel like something's a little bit off. So, I mean,
Right.
if you feel that anything's slightly off in your life, get some help.
Right. And don't you think right at that moment, that's where comes in that we don't know what our niche is and we can't
Right.
seem to get who our actual ideal customer is. And that's one of the things that everybody talks about in business. Know who your ideal client is. Well, how can you know who your ideal client is if you don't know who you are yourself?
That's exactly right.
Because I love what you say. I mean, I think in fact you said it on Monday on your Money Mastery show, is that every one of your ideal clients has a little bit of you in them.
Yeah, they're a version of you.
There's some version of you.
Right. That's why you can relate to them.
Because that's why, exactly. And that just was like, oh, exactly. Oh, gee, Pat, you're so smart. And I think I even commented that that was absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
Because that is, like with me, I can remember just feeling like, just unloved and unwanted, that the attention kind of went over from my two older sisters, jumped over me and hit the baby. So I grew up feeling like, okay, well, I'll just hang out by myself, or I'll become the clown to get attention, or I'll become this outgoing, larger than life type of person. And so that's what I would do so often. And I was known as the life of the party. And I remember, I'm going to share this. Don't normally, but I will. One time at my sister's wedding, and I was the life of the party because I kept everybody moving and doing, and that was all great. And so that was great. The next day was like my day off. I was done. I had it. I wasn't going to talk to anybody. I needed to regroup. And my aunt looked at me, and no, she didn't even look at me. Well, she did look at me, but then she turned to my mom and said, "What's wrong with Barbara? She's really kind of quiet today." And my mom turned, instead of saying, "Oh, well, you know what, we had a busy day yesterday, da da da." My mom turned right around and looked at me and said, "Yeah, Barb, what's the matter with you?"
Wow.
In that moment, I knew that if I was the on, then I was too loud and boisterous. And if I was my quiet self, there was something wrong with me. How could I possibly compete with that? Because I was wrong either way I jumped. Now, if you don't like me, I'm sorry. I like me. And sometimes I'm loud, and sometimes I'm boisterous, and sometimes I'm unorganized, but sometimes I'm powerful, and sometimes it's something that somebody needs to hear. And so for whoever is listening right now that needed to hear that, you are powerful in your own right. Stand in your own right. It doesn't matter what anybody else says or what anybody else does around you. You are a powerful, powerful woman.
Definitely. Or man. Or man.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
You're a powerful person. You are a powerful person. I know a friend of mine when I was in high school, he was going to college. He had flunked 3 times. I said, why? And finally, one day I looked at him and I said, well, we must have been older because he had flunked 3 times already. And I said, why are you still going to college when you are flunking out? He said, because my dad makes me, because he wants me to be whatever it was he wanted him to be. And I said, well, what do you want to be? He said, I want to be a model. And he was gorgeous. He was one of those drop dead model type guys. And he wanted to be a model. But who are you to be a model? Was what he got at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was heartbroken for him. And yet I could totally relate to him because that was kind of a little bit how I felt. That the on me that was the boisterous and fun-loving person was wrong. And the quiet, introspective person, side of me was wrong too. Who was I? Well, I wasn't either of those. So, And
it takes us to sort of another stream of consciousness thing going on here, is that right. How many people, in fact, if you're listening, this may be you, that you're doing work right now, you're living a life right now that somebody else chose for you, that you started going into a career field, not because you fell in love with it, but because it was the thing to do. I remember when I was a kid, my dad worked for the postal service, and he drilled in me for years and years and years. Get a job with the post office, get a job with the post office, get a job with the post office. It's a good, steady job. It'll give you a good income.
Right.
You never have to worry about retirement or anything like that, because it's all taken care of for you. And he did it out of love and everything. Thank goodness I didn't follow the path that he wanted, because that wouldn't have been me. But how many times are we living a life that somebody else has kind of dictated for us? And we're now living in that life, or you're now living in that life, and you're thinking, right, I'm not happy. I'm not right. fulfilled.
And you're middle-aged.
And you're middle-aged, yes, absolutely. And you're middle-aged, or even younger, or even
maybe
older.
younger, or even older. I'm 70.
Yeah.
I'm 70. But you know what? I feel now like I'm back in my 40s, because I'm excited about what I do.
I've always said that if you're not happy with what you're doing, change it, because there are too many things out there to do and so many experiences to have that you get to choose. So if you're not happy doing what you're doing, change it, do something different. If you want to do something, and I always use this example, it was given to me years and years and years ago, and I think it's hysterical. If you've ever wanted to be an underwater basket weaver,
right. I've heard you say that before. Yeah.
Right? But find what really feeds your soul. Do the thing that makes you happy. When you die, you don't take it with you. Now, that's not to say you don't need money to live here today in our economy today. Of course you do. But you can make money doing just about anything. So if you're not loving what you're doing, for heaven's sakes, do something different. If you need to kick off and do a side job to get it going, in order to, start bringing in income and have a proof of concept, so that when you're ready to launch that as a real legitimate business and a real full-time business, you've got some roots underneath you, do that. But do something that's going to feed your soul. How many people do you know who are like musicians or artists or whatever, who do other things to support what they really want to do in life, until they're able to actually pick up and do that thing in life?
Right. Well, so many. Go to Nashville. Every server in Nashville is a wannabe rock star, wannabe country music star. And it was so funny, because one time David and I, David was a singer. He was a professional singer. And so one time we were in Nashville, one of the times we were in Nashville, and we went to a karaoke. Oh, yikes. David, I said, David, are you going to put your name in? He went, no, I'm an amateur. And he was a professional. But he looked at me and he said, no, I'm an amateur compared to these ones. These were the wannabes that were waiting for just the right person to hear them. And so every karaoke bar in Nashville is all people who want to be. That's what they do. That's how they can possibly get discovered. So they go to karaoke bars and they sing. Well, it was at that show, one of the shows that we went to, it was like, oh, wow. It was like a paid show, and it was a karaoke bar.
That's awesome.
And yet then the ones that have made it, there's a bar, and I'm going to tell. There's a bar in Nashville, and it's called Fifth and Lindsley. And now I just went blank of his name. He shows up every week. Vince Gill. He shows up every week, and he just plays. Vince Gill. They love him, but he shows up every week and just brings his guitar. The last time I was there, he was in a pink jumpsuit, no socks, and loafers.
Okay.
And it was just the most fun time. But he just sits there and he just plays with whoever happens to be there. And sometimes with his own group. And that's what happens, because when you've made it, that's what you can do. But until you've made it, you might have to do something else. So hey, find something else. At least do something that you enjoy. So yeah. Anyways,
the problem for a lot of people is that they're afraid to make a change.
Yeah.
They're afraid to make a change, because what if they fail? And here's what happens.
What will people say?
Well, yes.
What will
And in
people
the end,
say?
all that really matters is it's your journey, and all that really matters is what you say. But
Right.
here's the problem: is that so many people, including we all do, we all live in fear of something that could happen or not happen,
Mhm.
right? So we're afraid to make change. I'm about to make a big change in my business. It's hysterical, actually, when you think about it. And you're hearing it here first. I told Barbara last night, she's the first
Oh
one to hear.
yes, this is gonna be good. Yeah.
So many years ago, when I decided to stop working full time for an employer, I launched a company. It was called Reignite Your Dream, and the whole premise behind it was for people who wanted to do what they've always wanted to do but never got to do it, whether it was a life type thing or a business type thing. And it was, and if you look at the website, if you go to reigniteyourdream.com, it's an old website, 2015. I mean, old website. I mean, it's like really old. But anyway, and it's broken links and all sorts of things in there. But anyway, it was primarily made, the business was designed primarily for business owners, because a lot of times business owners will get to a point where their business just isn't working anymore, or they're
Right.
just not enthused about it anymore, or they're just kind of going through the motions. That's not why you got into business. That's not why you're doing the things you want to do in life. It's
Right.
that you want to be excited again. So you want to reignite that dream all over again. Well, I've decided that. So in 2017, I decided to get some tools and resources to use in my business to make it easier for business coaching. So I decided to change my company over to Corner Office University. The actual company name is Corner Office Enterprises, but I do business as Corner Office University. It's a great tools and resources. I love them. I will continue using them until the day I die. However, what I realized is that the image that's out there about Corner Office University is not me. And because of it, yes, I've been getting business, and yes, I've been doing fine with it. And yes, but I'm not feeling fulfilled like I know I could. And it comes out in the business that I'm doing. I'm not getting the kind of clients that I really want to work with. I mean,
Your
yes,
ideal client. It comes back to your ideal
my ideal client. Yes, exactly. So in 2015, I was in this course called Making the Stage. It was a speaking course. Barbara and I were both in it, and it was to get you out there on big stages. And when I was in there, one of the instructors, I did a presentation, and he said that was awful. And I mean, I worked really hard on it. I mean, Barb, you
I
remember
that. I remember that.
Every night we're up till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, working on a presentation that we would then give the next morning, right?
Yeah.
And then we go through other things, we get critiqued and all that stuff. I did this presentation, and he said that was awful. And I was like stunned, because I mean, I'd worked really hard on it, and I thought it was a really great presentation. And he said, "You look like a corporate stiff."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I realized that I was being a corporate stiff, but I didn't know how to do anything differently, right? I didn't see the path to get there. And it was only recently that I realized that even in my corner office business, I've been a corporate stiff. And it's time to break out of that mold and really be me. I'm not a corporate stiff. I love to have fun with my clients.
Oh, we have a blast when we
Oh
get
my
together. Oh, we
It's
have I have to tell you, because you used to tell me that oh yeah, I'm a corporate stiff, and I'm like, yeah, you're not stiff,
Yeah.
and because I didn't have a business relationship with you.
Right.
And we go back and forth all the time about messaging and about all sorts of things within our businesses, but we're friends.
Yeah.
So I see the fun-loving friend Pat, but then I went, you know what?
Yeah. There's
Corner office. There's
a
and
disconnect.
so then when he said that, it was like, oh, right.
Right. And a friend of mine, Sandy Lemieux, she ended up searching for me one day online. She couldn't remember the name of my business. She went up searching, and she came across my Reignite Your Dream website, which I've never taken down, which I probably should take down because it's really bad. You need to go check it out because it's really funny. It's really a bad website. But anyway, she found my website, and she called me, and she said, "Why aren't you doing this instead?" And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "That's you." that's you. And it was like, okay. And that was like 6 months ago or so. And I've done nothing with it. Well, I've decided that, guys, you're going to see a whole new Pat coming out, which is be really interesting. So
Yeah.
it's going to be kind of fun. It's going to be part of the journey. And I'm
It's
still
going
going
to be scary. It's going to be scary. That has
actually,
been
no.
you and I. That's been our journey. That slight
Yeah.
scariness. That what are people going to think? But yet now, hey, this is me, and I'm going to be able to attract the ones who want to work with me.
And I'm really kind of excited about it. I'm feeling really
exactly.
into my business again because I feel like I've been, again, living somebody else's dream, using somebody else's tools. They set up a website for me and everything, and I've been using that, and it's been fine. Don't get me wrong, it's been a good business so far, but it's not the kind of business that I want to do. So if you're doing something you don't love doing, that isn't a real fit with you, time to change it up. I mean, has COVID taught us nothing?
Oh, exactly. 2021. I'm going to say this again. 2021 is the year of the woman.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the year of the
entrepreneur.
Yeah, I really think that this is going to be the year when a lot of entrepreneurs are finally going to break out of their corporate roles and say, you know what, enough is enough. I think that when people get off of unemployment, they're going to be looking for things to do. I was talking to somebody who's a recruiter this morning before this call, who's going to become I think she's going to become a coach with me, but she said that every indication out there is that businesses are going to be really doing a lot of hiring between February and March, which is when unemployment ends and COVID vaccinations come about and all that stuff. So I think everybody's getting, geared up to go back. But if you're not happy where you are, now is the time to make that change, because when businesses start kicking back up, they're going to need your services. People are going to need your services. It's just the way that it is. Right now, we've been kind of hunkered down since March. People are starting to spend money again. People are starting to look at options again, and they're starting to look at where they want to go in life. So if you're ready to make a change, it's time to make a change.
Right. And I'll share this one thing with me. One time we were talking about the tragedy of 9/11. Some friends of mine, it's still a topic of conversation even all these years later because it was so tragic. However, one of the things that came out of that conversation with a couple of friends was that we wondered how many people from that walked away from their life. Just walked away.
Right.
Just walked away.
Yeah.
Because they could.
Right.
Because they were so unhappy, or so whatever the word that you want to to describe how, because people, like we talked about right at the beginning, some people have lost their life because of being unhappy.
Right.
The rate is the suicide rate is going sky high right now because so many people are unhappy. And it was like, oh, right. How many times? So you know what, before it gets to that point, let's change. Let's do something. 2021 this is a new decade.
It is.
Let's make it a decade of fun and prosperity and abundance and joy. And joy in all areas of your life.
And gratitude.
And the biggest thing starts with gratitude.
It always
absolutely starts. Absolutely. So
yeah.
All right, Pat, this has been fun.
It has. So as you're going,
got to figure out what might happen to my lighting today. Normally I don't have problems with my lighting, but you know what? It was meant to be, because that started out the show. It was like, what is the matter with Barb's lighting? But it happens. So
it happens, and dating happens, and life happens,
and life happens, and
it's so imperfect. Embrace the imperfection
and bright. And if you because my last parting statement to you: if you are waiting to be perfect, you're never going to get there, because done is better than perfect. Just get it out there. And if you flub up, oh well, go on. Or if you do something that is totally really less than stellar, hey, fess up, take the heat, and then go on.
Right. I spoke with a business owner 2 days ago who she is kind of on her last leg with doing business, because she has made so many bad decisions in her business. And she admits it. She says, I've made a bunch of bad decisions financially, professionally. I've just made Right. Well, who hasn't? It's part of the entrepreneurial journey. And if you don't expect, you've got to expect that not everything is going to go right. And if something doesn't go wrong every single day in your business, then you're not doing your business. Because every time that you stretch and do something different, you're going into uncharted territory.
Right.
So, right. So it's important that you realize that everything is not going to go perfect, number one, and that you're going to mess up, number two, and there is not one thing, well, maybe there's some things, but in business, for the most part, there really isn't anything you can't undo.
Right.
If you make a mistake, you can always undo it in some way, shape, or form. And if you don't know how to do that, again, reach out for help.
Right.
We're here to help you. There are lots of resources out there, but find somebody you actually really trust and that you really connect with. I will say that this is my last parting word, is that I've spent, oh my gosh, close to $200,000 in the past 6 years working on things for my business. Insane amount of money. I mean, insane, life-changing amount of money, right? And following people and buying programs and products that I thought would work. Not because they really resonated with me personally, but the idea, imperfection, because it was an idea that I thought, oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Oh, I need that. Without having a system in place to give me everything that I needed. I was buying piecemeal, this and this and this and this and this and that, and it became shelf help. Some of it, I mean, there's one product that I bought, this one service or one program that I bought this past year that was a 10-week course, live course, and I made it to 3 because I got stuck at some point. I've got to go back and do it and listen to the recordings, but it's not the same as doing it live.
Right.
So because of it, I mean, that's money just thrown in the trash unless I use it. And quite frankly, I'm not even sure I'm going to use it because in the end, I don't think it's going to work very well in my business. It was something I thought, listening to the advertisement that she was putting out there, the webinars and the emails, I thought I could really use that. But in the end, I'm not using it and I'm okay without it. And as I'm looking at the bigger picture of my business, and I should have been talking to my business coach about this, but as I was looking at the bigger picture of my business, I should have realized that wasn't a piece that I needed. But sometimes we don't always talk to our business coaches about what we're actually doing and all the pieces that we're considering. I had this coach one time. In fact, you know him, Barb, Phil Black.
Oh, he's the one that introduced you and I together. So that's been how long? That's been that long ago. Yeah.
Phil, one time I was going to a seminar and he said, before you buy anything, call me and I'll tell you no. Because until we know how it's going to work in your business, you shouldn't buy it. Yep. And I ended up buying some things. And in the end, really, for the most part, none of them were any good. So there we go.
Yep.
Talk to your business coach. And if you don't have a business coach, get a business coach. Seriously.
Business coach.
Yeah.
All coaches have coaches.
All coaches have coaches. They should have coaches.
I have 2. It's like you just need, because you cannot possibly do it on your own.
You can't. You
just can't. I talked to my techie coach this morning, and just but now, you don't do that. Try, maybe think about this, and then of course I was like, oh, okay, fine. Well, of course, then half an hour later, so I'm sitting down, I'm going, okay, you're right. Because better approach, and it was like, but because we can't possibly know everything. So anyways.
So with that, I want to wish everybody a very, very, very Merry Christmas. Yes, and we will be back next week. Very excited next week. We have Lynette Wagner on. Lynette is amazing. You're going to love Lynette. Lynette, oh goodness gracious, she does transformation different than anybody I've ever seen.
Wow, that's be exciting.
Yeah, and I'm not even going to go into what exactly she does, but she does transformation different from anybody I've ever seen before. She's somebody that if you've not connected with, you need to, because she's just she's a force to be reckoned with. I mean, seriously, she's a
Cool.
force to be reckoned with. So I'm really looking forward that she's going to be here next week, and yeah, it's gonna be great fun. It's gonna be great conversation. So
All righty. Okay,
yeah.
well, this is Barbara Luna Ellison, your personality pro, because personality drives reality. Have an awesome, awesome holiday season. Merry Christmas. And so this is going to be great. So, Pat, tell us who you are again one more time.
Pat Knauer, I am the business coach extraordinaire, Corner Office University for a very short time. It's going to be changing up. And again, I don't know if I'm going to be keeping that website and Reignite Your Dream, but we're going to be going more towards Reignite Your Dream. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see a whole lot of new stuff coming out. I'm so excited. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Oh, I've got a freebie for you. I decided I'm going to throw this out there if anybody would like it. If you want 50 social media post ideas, who could use that, right? As we're planning this next year. 50 social media post ideas, go to ultimatesuccesshack.com, ultimatesuccesshack.com, and you'll get it right there.
And you'll put it in the show notes? Perfect.
I will put it in the show notes.
Awesome. Everybody have a great day.
And Merry Christmas. And Happy Kwanzaa too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.